Hello, Bobby, aka Anakin Media here, and in this video on the the night before Christmas Eve, I am going to do a bit of a soft rant directed at my fellow Star Wars fans. Now, you may consider this an inopportune time, particularly as many Star Wars fans, myself included, were unified in celebration of our shared love of the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. However, I assure you, I do not do this without reason. Now, as a Star Wars fan, particularly one living in downtown Long Beach and on the autism Asperger's spectrum, I've long had a funny relationship with the rest of the Star Wars fandom. And this is not to say that that relationship has been entirely negative. However, it has certainly been strained. Now, now, to understand my love for Star Wars, we have to rewind the clock to 1997, the year that the year that 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 the special editions were released, the year that I got out of a hellish foster care. Um, um, for in Riverside, on a Halloween night, and was able to rent the original VHS releases of the original trilogy from the Long Beach Public Library. And I fell in love with Star Wars instantaneously. The simplicity, the Arthurian themes, the mythological themes, the grand space opera, the mix of Taoist Christian and Jewish spirituality, which I related to, the mythology of the Jedi and Sith. I loved it all. And and the themes of a hero from humble beginnings going up against an evil fascistic empire and winning out in the end through ingenuity, teamwork, and and um, and faith was also particularly appealing to me. However, when the special editions and the holiday special came out, the dark side of the Star Wars fandom slowly began to rear its ugly head. The divisiveness, the sectarianism, the pretentiousness, the toxic masculinity, the none too subtle racism and ableism, which, you know, um, kind of goes against the themes of the franchise to begin with. But that, of course, is one of the risks of capitalism and hyper-consumerism. As franchises go on and on, certain things get lost in translation, and products become signs, and signs become empty signifiers. And 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 you can project pretty much whatever you want onto an empty signifier regardless of the original intention. And to be clear, if you agree with the critics that the Empire Strikes Back was the best thing in cinema since sliced bread, that is valid. If you think The Return of the Jedi is underrated, that is also valid. If you liked The Last Jedi, that is also valid. If you liked The Phantom Menace, that is valid. If you liked Attack of the Clones, that is valid. If you loved Revenge of the Sith like I did, that is valid. See, the funny thing to me is over the years, Star Wars fans have more and more missed the point of the franchise, you know? Which is the more you cling to history, the the more you cling to the mistakes of the past, the more the past will repeat. The more you strictly adhere to a dogma rather than seeing all sides of a conflict in its entirety, the more balance will be lost. The more you assume that your cause is just and your enemies are just pure evil and wrong, the more conflict will never end. And the more you try to avoid change, the more change will happen, whether you want it to or not. The whole reason Anakin became Vader in the first place was because he refused to accept the transience of life, the temporariness of it, the impermanence. And the irony is, the more you try to cling to life, the more certain death will come to you. Vader and Palpatine both had to find that out the hard way, as did Dooku and Maul and all the Sith. But the Jedi and the Knights of Ren accepted the impermanence and the balance, and because of that, were redeemed in the end. This has been Bobby, aka Anarcha Media. Liberty, equality, fraternity. Goodbye.